Hi everyone, and good afternoon to our lovely doctor. So today we want to show to you a mini drama plus a mini forum together. What we want to do today is actually we want to share a story on our case study. So our case study is actually the pattern for drugs and medicines in the US. So today we have eight different roles that we want to present. So the first role is by government, which is Fatin. So you all can see Fatin is holding the government tag. All right. Then we have Atika, who is the medicine pattern pool. So what is MPP or medicine pattern pool, which will be further discussed later during the forum, during the mini drama. Then we have Hanani, who is the seller. You can see she's the pharmacy, ABC pharmacy, all the pharmacy stuff all there lah. All right, and then we have buyer, which is Ainin. Yep, and then that is for the mini drama. Then we have a mini forum which will consist of the government Fatin, and speaker 1, 2, 3, 4. Speaker 1 will be Logesh. Speaker 2 will be Yuki. Speaker 3 will be me, Na, and speaker 4 will be Shakira. Alright, so let's not waste any time. We're going to present right now.
Excuse me, hi. Is this ABC Pharmacy?
Hi, yes, it is.
Do you have any good medicine for prostate cancer?
Yes, we do. Here it is, Zytiga. It contains abiraterone acetate. It's good for prostate cancer.
Oh, okay. That was great to hear. Can I know the price of this medicine?
It's $300. The prescription of the medicine will be for 4 months.
$300? Wow, it's so expensive for me. Is there any cheaper medicine?
Sorry, miss. This is the most cheapest one.
But it is so expensive for me. I'm a poor people.
Sorry again, miss. We cannot sell it with the lower price. For your information, we need to bear the cost of R&D, advertising, and so on. Therefore, the price are necessary to fund expensive research projects to generate new drugs.
Wow, I don't think I can afford the medicine for every 4 weeks. It costs me really lot. I think I should do something about the price of medicine. Where I can ask about the price of medicine?
You can ask the MPP. So how was it? How is it? Take it or leave it.
Myla.
Okay, hi guys. I can now see you guys have some problems here. Let me introduce myself. I am Atika from MPP, the Medicine Patent Pool. The Medicine Patent Pool is a United Nations-backed public health organization. We work to increase access to medicines and facilitate the development of life-saving medicines for low and middle-income countries through an innovative approach to voluntary licensing and patent pooling. We will ensure people have rapid access to effective and affordable medical treatments and health technologies. We work with a range of partners, which is civil society, international organizations, industry, patient groups, and governments to prioritize and licensing novel and existing medicines and healthy technologies for people in these countries. Since the problem is an issue now, the price is an issue now, I will report this issue to the government. Okay, so government, I can see now there is some problems regarding the issue, which is too high. The price is too high for the low and middle income countries. So, what can we do regarding this problem?
Okay, I heard your feedback. Hello everyone. Now the thing is like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to host a forum. I will call in 4 economic specialists and discuss with them.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Welcome everyone to the forum. Thank you for coming. Today we have 4 economic specialists to answer the question. We have 3 questions to ask you guys for your opinion. There are 4 speakers in this forum. Okay, speaker 1, please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm speaker 1. My name is Logesh Raman.
Okay, speaker 2. Speaker 3.
I am Dr. Na, speaker 3.
Okay, and speaker 4.
I am Shakira, speaker 4.
Okay, thank you. So, my first question is the drug industry is a good illustration of market theories such as perfect, imperfect, monopoly, and oligopoly? Please explain your answer.
Okay, for question 1, the drug industry is a good illustration of the monopoly market described in this chapter. First, monopoly market means one dominant seller control all or most of the market product. Consumers are forced to spend large amount of money for buying brand name drugs. It's because all big pharmaceutical companies are allowed to charge whatever they want from the consumer.
Alright, for the second point is there are barriers to entry that keep other company out of monopoly market, while the patent law does not allow another company to produce the same drug as another company with a patent. These companies have a patent right which allow them to effectively put an end to competition on the market and to set the price at its highest level. The monopoly of drug refers to the situation in which big corporations are regulating the selling of brand name drugs. These drugs are becoming the most expensive component of the healthcare expense. The other way for other company to remove this barrier is to invent new drug, but it will require high cost. According to Kesahan, Evan and Sapatwari 2016, the most important factor to manufacture the set high drug price is market exclusivity protected by monopoly right award upon food and drug administration FDA approval and by patents. For example, when patents are about to expire, the pharmaceutical industry seek endless extension through reformulation, which is changing the drug to obtain additional patent protection while keeping the same characteristics so that previous clinical testing result can be relied on to obtain FDA approval.
Okay, I strongly agree with speaker 2 and speaker 4 for what's the say the monopoly market drugs. Third, according to the monopoly market theory, the seller have a power to set the quantity and price of this produce on their market. As I mentioned, there are some mostly just one seller a drug, so price and their quantity can be set at this one company. According to the David Blumenthal 2018, as long as a drug company or small group hold the monopoly power over potent new therapies, there is no free market solution to the lowering and drugs price. Only a controlling non-market force to equal strength can bring those price down. This study shows that monopoly power does choose over the price and does not make the drugs price any lower.
So after listening to speaker 1, 2, and 4 from Mr. Lokesh, Ms. Yuki, and Ms. Shakira, I definitely agree that this market does belong to the monopoly market. Why? Because besides all the factor that has mentioned by the 3 speakers, I strongly believe that it is a monopoly market because of another factor. The biggest factor, or to me, is because it has the power to extract monopoly profit. Why? By producing less than equilibrium quantity so that it can set a higher price which is below the demand curve but high above supply curve so that the drug company can extract as much monopoly profit as possible. Now you may ask yourself, is it really logical? The answer is yes, especially towards this monopoly. Why? Because they want a lot of income. They want to maximize their profit. So what do? They purposely hold back their stock. They purposely choose to let demand rose above so that their supply, they let it slowly into the market. What does this do? This means that as the basic economic theory, When there's a high demand and low supply, the price of the item skyrocket. And because this is a need, not a want, a need by the people, they are going to fight for it and the price will hike up. And this is the problem. Once the quantity and quality of the current drugs becomes a norm because of this situation, what do? They will introduce a new drug and they'll do it all over again. That's what this pattern is a problem I felt. So that's why they belong to the monopoly market, because they are maximizing profit and they're purposely reducing less than equilibrium quantity with setting the price and quantity.
Thank you very much. Now, let's move on to the next question. What changes, if any, do you think we should make to US drug patent laws?
Alright, first we need to understand about the US drug patent law. Patent law is based on the Patent Act of 1952, codified in Section 35 of United States Code of Law. The law requires investors to receive patent on effective, new and non-obvious matter, product, manufacturers and composition of matter. The patent issue include the freedom to exclude others from making, using, selling, offering for sale, or introducing proprietary technology to the United States. A patent provides the right to prevent anyone from copying or inventing your invention without your permission. You can defend for a predetermined duration and allow you to keep your competitors at bay. There are some significant improvements that need to be made to US drug patent law. Significant improvement include the reduction of patent price, reduction of patent time, check and balance, the lowering of the profit percentage, and funding for the pharmaceutical industry.
Okay, next, looking at the current issue as well as the past in the US drug market, the government needs to help protect customers from high cost of prescription drugs by setting tougher guidelines for firm-seeking drug exclusivity protection for their brand name drugs. Researchers in an analysis published in JAMA found that market exclusivity by extensive government patent protection and the failure of government players such as Medicare to negotiate lower prices were the most important causes of increasing drug costs. Prescription drug prices range between 10% and 70% of the overall cost of healthcare. Furthermore, for the type patent, the process for supplying medicine from their supplier to patients should be built to deliver the cheapest medication. The US system doesn't even get any closer. Insurance will have the lowest cost and highest quality drug benefit for each product, either public or private. Pharmacy benefit managers should use their buying power to receive promotion that consumers will never be able to achieve on their own and pass this rebate on to patients. This already not only increasing the price as there's already a middleman, but a discrimination happens if it's solely up to this exclusive manager or anymore in the matter of fact with connection to buy at an exclusive price and to sell it off to the third party and consumer at any price. That like and such is called a discrimination based on a first to third degree discrimination based on the sellers.
Okay, one also remark is the durations of the patents as a criteria needed to the extent of impose a new patent on the same but newly improved the drugs formula. All of this take place against the backdrop of the nation's debate about the lower drugs price and the strategy of the promoting and the encourage vigorous competitions in the pharmaceutical industry through the fast introduction to the generation product as soon. The drugs are the patents allow the manufacturing profits are competitions for the selling the same drugs for a period of 20 years from the time to the patent is fulfilled. Assuming that the process of gaining regulatory approval to sell their new products, the drugs have the average market exclusive of 12 to 13 years. A decade longer is more than enough to not just cover the cost and the research behind the drugs. If the team behind the patents of fulfilling any amount that is equivalent to the what is the minimal wages individual can pay. So, however, it's at a price so way above when the lower income brackets family can afford effort. That is more than enough to profit for the long time and not with the patents as last 20 years and still need be reinforced. Furthermore, to some upgrade in their formula, many believe that is not as comprehensive. So,
Alright, so you have heard from Ms. Yuki, Mr. Logesh, and Ms. Shakira on their point. To me, I've been on the economics field for more than 10 years. I've been through a few regression, depression, and so on. And what I would surely say to your question is, I felt that government, and not just government, any management body that is involved in this pattern should be able to make a final call to make sure that they always kept all this pattern, the licensing of this pattern, in check. People need to understand drugs, this medicine, they are a need, they are not a want. People need it, they don't want it, they need it. It's a need, especially to those who are from the low income bracket. They really need it, and because they are from the lower income bracket, they cannot afford drugs that are expensive. Why are they expensive? Well, it's because of the pattern. It's because of the R&D that so-called company have done, and it has been taken like 10 to 20 years for the pattern to be kept in check right before it's released. Just then, the company again had a new pattern. So here's what I strongly believe. Government and any management body should be able to make a final call, or at least an option to judge on this. It shouldn't be from just the pattern saying that, hey, okay, I've guaranteed this pattern, all right, I'm going to license this is the price. No, government should intervene it. Okay, that is from a pattern view. Now, actually, back in 2015, there were several cases of other ways how we can actually exploit from outside the pattern problem. Yes, correct. So there were different alternatives that can be done. First of all, the first alternative is actually the government can fund other R&D, fund other organization that's trying to develop these drugs or medicine, which is different from the pattern. Because the pattern is fixed, you cannot take it. So what can we do? It is very expensive to do a new drug, a new formula, unless the government gives some incentive, unless they provide some proper channel, some connections, some funds, which will help in this matter. And not just providing funds and connections and all this. They need to advocate. They need to teach the people who's going to do this R&D. They need to teach them that they have to advocate for the needy, for the poor. It shouldn't be expensive to get something that is needed. Medicine, drugs, these are especially crucial in everyday life because it's a health issue. So again, this is one way. There are other ways which has been discovered back in 2015. Dr. Queensley, which have summarized a lot of ways. So one of it was the push-pull incentive. The other one was a pull incentive. Then there's push incentive. There is also a combination of push-pull, like I just mentioned. There's also a global research and development agreement, which I have just said. It depends on how the government play out. And of course, there's a delinkage of the medicine cost from the research and development cost. They can provide costs. They can provide funds for it. Now, but again, after all the things that Dr. Queensley has mentioned, there's actually some sidetrack behind it. He has concluded that although there's alternative to this modern medicine pattern regime, there are also complexities behind these challenges. Push funding requires rigorous compliance monitoring and cannot guarantee success in every effort. It's a very low chance. But there is a worth of trying. That's number one. Then there's others. It is also not easy to determine a monetary value and terms that provide sufficient motivation for innovators, especially those who want to go into this field to create a new drug that is not from the patented drugs. So there's a lot of complexity behind creating a new drug. But again, to address your question, there's a lot of ways. As I have mentioned, government or any management body should take charge. They should be able to voice out instead of the people, because they are the higher ups. They should be able to voice out. Then they should be able to fund a new R&D and advocate for it, advocate for the needy. Make sure that this new team understand that medicines and drugs are for the lower bracket to be affordable, not for them to maximize profit. Because again, health is wealth. Then there are rest of it. So to me, I think that's a bigger way to solve it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, my last question is, how should the relation between drugs and human life or health affect your views on drug industry monopoly profits?
Okay, based on my opinion, it's a strong relationship with the health with the drugs, health human with the drugs. It is a medical field. The drugs affect the human body's central nervous system. They affect how humans think, feel, and behave. They are a speed of messaging to the program. Their brains, minds, your feel more alert and the confident. This can pressure. This can case increase the heart rate, blood pressure, and body temperature, reduce the inflammation and the sleeplessness. So, in the large amount, stimulation may be the case anti panic surgery for stomach cramps and the pleuropneumonia. So, based on this report, they have a direct relationship between drugs and human life health. Human life play a major role for the increase the industry monopoly profits.
Okay, in my opinion, there's a deep relation between drugs and human life or health because drugs are important for human life. Because drugs are unaffordable, the right medications are not given to the patient, and this has been many deaths in response. Drugs were created to save life, but because they are so expensive, they are not saving life anymore. Drugs industry takes advantages of the health problem of other people. Research is important for the future of drug, but the drug industry put only 14% of their revenue into research. R&D cost is high, but they are taking too much profit in their market, which is not rational. Therefore, the drug industry monopoly should be closely monitored and controlled by the government law.
Alright, other than that, pharmaceutical industry has a relation between drugs and health on the drug industry monopoly. Profit when there is increasing demand for medicine. From my view, the sale of the drug can be increased if the patient knows the prescription of the drug in the medicine that could help them. The patient can directly buy the drug without the third party, so they will gain more profit on it. Therefore, the price of the medicine will not be too high and reasonable for a patient to afford. Most drug companies are private companies which have the sole aim of the profitable products and not so much on the well-being of the woman. This is one of the reasons why the drug company mark up higher price on the drug more than they should gain. The government can take action to bring in the pharmaceutical sector into the public sector, so that the company can fill up the public intervention, which they can use the profit from profitable drugs to subsidize the research and development as well commercialization of unprofitable disease like Ebola.
Alright, so to address your question, you have asked what is the relationship between drugs and human health that affected my view, or at least it affects my view on the drug industry, the monopoly profits. Okay, let's push that aside. Currently, we are facing the ongoing COVID-19, which is a global pandemic. And look at it. Look at the medicine and the drugs that are especially crucial right now. Especially that a lot of people, a lot of teams are doing R&D in exploration of new fields to make sure that they create new vaccines, to make sure that they have found a cure to help carry humankind out of this pandemic. Now, with the rising of more than 2.5 million cases, and in US, there's more than 200,000 cases with over 80,000 deaths. So now the bigger question comes in. Now you need to ask me again. So according to your question, What is my view? I felt that, again, this is a very critical moment. We need drugs and medicine now more than ever. The bigger question, which I felt after listening to question 1 and 2, I felt that after a cure or vaccine is made, then what happened? Is it going to be monopolized again because of the patent pool? Is it going to be monopolized because the R&D, the first R&D team, whichever finds the medicine, the cure, the vaccine, they patent it and they're going to maximize their profit? To me, my concern is on that part. My view, I felt that is especially on that part. Why? Because I felt that monopoly is really maximizing it. So I strongly believe that in a way, the monopoly will happen. It will definitely happen. A lot of money has funded just so it happen. But now, I hope that my voice can reach out in this forum. I hope that even though monopoly happens, I hope that it can happen in a affordable way. I mean, it's okay for you to gain profit, but you should not be maximizing profit by pulling a customer, especially a low income bracket, by their throat and saying, I will take all your money until you got nothing left. Then we have a problem. Then it's a moral problem. There's civic moral problem. There's no one advocating for this. And I strongly felt that this is a problem. It's okay to be in the monopoly field. It's okay to gain profit. It's not okay to gain a large sum of profit that medicine becomes something that is unattainable, especially to those who really need it. Again, I stand on my point. Medicine, drugs, vaccine, cures, they are a need. They are not a want. It should be affordable to everyone. It should be affordable to people who needs it. So again, I view that this drug monopoly is definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. But frankly, I really hope that me voicing out right now is enough to get exposure to the whole world. I hope that it is critical. It's very critical to make sure that this incoming vaccine, cure, drugs, medicine, whatever it's going to be called, should be accessible, should be affordable to everyone. It shouldn't be monopolized to make maximum profit. Instead, it should be maximum outreach to everyone and anyone who needs it. So I strongly think it's okay if you want to monopolize this market, but it's strongly not okay if you are cutting the throat of everyone else. So again, while the patent holder of the drugs is earning, I strongly hope that the whole world also can benefit it from a cheaper and more affordable cost.
Thank you so much for your opinion. Your insight is very valuable. Now, this forum has come to an end. Thank you to speakers and to everyone that involved. Now, I finished forum and I come to the conclusion that price have an intervention and I will update it through the government. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for your help. Thank you.
Thank you for your help, government, and I hope this problem will be settled as soon as possible.
Okay, so we have come to an end of our mini forum plus mini drama. So basically, what we wanted to portray is we wanted to portray the 3 questions from the case study in the mini forum, but we want to let people know how it's happening, why is it happening. So we have a quick drama on how a seller, a buyer, government, and the MPP comes into play, and then how 4 speakers give their view, and the government gives back to the 4 people who needs it, to the 3. So that's all from us. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.